Back to the here and now with Bryant McFadden. Mac, as you look at this performance, specifically by the offense of Cincinnati, it feels like a what-if season. And I don't want to go too broad here because this is an offense that when they are clicking on all cylinders, it's going to be a tough matchup for any defense. This Cincinnati defense still sort of begs the question, what do you make of them at the midway point of this season?
Today's performance was very, very encouraging because they played against a team they should be able to handle, especially at home when it comes to the Vegas Raiders, right? We saw Gardner Minshew, we saw Desmond Ridder. Long story short, they don't have their guy at the quarterback position, and because of that, there've been a lot of issues offensively for the Raiders. Those same issues surfaced today, which is great for Cincinnati because defensively there has been some errors, some concerns on that side of things. So hopefully this could be a building block for them moving forward because quietly in the jungle, there's a Bengal lurking. They're currently sitting at 4-5. Think about that. Think about the horrible start to their season. Just think about how bad the month of September was and the majority of October. They're now currently sitting at 4-5, lurking in the jungle. So they still have an opportunity. They have to continue to be successful. But one thing I would like to highlight on the offensive end, you talked about Joe Burrow quietly throwing for 5 touchdowns, none to Jamar Chase. That's big time. But one thing that really lived up and helped them was the running game. Chase Brown over 100 yards. Remember, I talked about in weeks past how much they've missed Joe Mixon. And then not having Joe Mixon, not having that production, but you see what Joe Mixon has done for the Texans. They finally got the ground game going. If that element can just stay within the pack, we know what Joe Burrow can do, especially when he gets all of his weapons back in the lineup and T. Higgins along with Jamar Chase. They can throw the football against almost any defense. Heck, we saw what they did weeks ago against Baltimore Ravens. He threw 5 touchdowns against them. But if they can run the football like they did today with Chase Brown, now I know you didn't have Zach Moss, but just collectively being successful running the football, then they're cooking with gas.
There are some matchup nightmares in that offense. We'll see if the defense can raise their level and make this team not just relevant, but a contender down the stretch to remain in that playoff conversation, if nothing else.